Well, great. Now we can get started. Thank you all for joining us. I think most all of you know me. I'm Andrea Warner, and I'm the Market Manager Liaison for the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. And as always, we're joined by Scott, who is our... Go ahead and introduce yourself, Scott. I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, hey folks, Scott Knauer from Clovis. I am the IT manager for the NMFMA and happy to be here as always. Great to see familiar faces. And
And
Mark,
our special guest today is Mark Chamberlain, and I'll let him introduce himself. Um, Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, thanks very much. Hey everybody, it's great to be here. I saw we've got a pretty good group of people joining today, so I think we're going to have some great content for you. We have prepared a lot of tools for this year's New Mexico Fresh Local Month, and we'll be sharing those with you. Um, the one thing I would add is this presentation is really intended to be a conversation. So by all means, please feel free to jump in with questions or comments or builds. We're completely open and kind of counting on you guys to be involved as well. So with that, Scott, if you'd like to share. So as I said, we're going to be talking about some of the tools and plans and marketing ideas we have for this year. But before we dive into all of that, I'd like to jump ahead to the next slide and ask Andrea to share a little bit about the history of New Mexico Fresh Local Month.
Sure. I'm happy to. I was just going to share a couple resources. Scott, if you want to give me sharing access. So, our New Mexico Fresh Local Month actually, I'm sorry, our New Mexico uh, I'm so sorry. Yes, New Mexico Fresh Local Month started with National Farmers Market Week, which this year is August 3rd through 8th, and that came out of a USDA proclamation um, to honor agriculture and our farmers markets across the United States. I'm just showing you here our USDA.gov. This year, they're celebrating with a Great American Farmers Market on the National Mall, August 3rd through 8th. And it's a little known proclamation that hasn't gotten a lot of attention until the Farmers Market Coalition, which is an organization I'm sure you've heard me refer to if you've been to our forums. I love them and find lots of resources and information about farmers market and farmers market managing at this website. They took that little known USDA proclamation about Farmers Market Week and turned it into a wonderful celebration. And this is the page they have this year. I encourage you all to go and look at it and download their National Farmers Market Week toolkit and social media guide after our presentation. We'll be sending you links to all of this in an email with a video next week. So their we celebration really encourages markets to invite local, state, and national leaders to your market. And for some of the markets that are growing, that's a great way to get your market attention and even possibly um, um, receive funds from your local governmental organizations during the legislative sessions, and that's a whole other conversation for another day. But I check out the Farmers Market Coalition and their National Farmers Market Week celebration. And something I just re learned about that I quickly want to show you that I I just learned about a few minutes ago is that there's a World Farmers Market Coalition, and they have a World Farmers Market Week that piggybacks against the National Farmers Market Week, August 6th through 12th. And so I'm going to research this a little more because, like I said, I just learned about it. Um, but that's the history of our national celebrations. And I can stop sharing screen here. Um, from that National Farmers Market Week celebration, New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association got involved by one of the things that the national celebration asks state organizations to do is to have their local governments or their state governments also create a proclamation, which we'll be sharing with you. We get one every year from our government, and we'll be sharing that with you in a little bit as well from our state government. Um, and we created, and you'll recognize this, Local Food Connects Month. And it's been, I'd say, about 5 years that we had that since we started the Local Food Connects Month. And then last year with a new marketing team and a fresh ad campaign, or I believe that it was last year, sorry, we changed the name to New Mexico Fresh Local Month. And so I know you may recognize the Local Food Connects Month is what we used to call it, and we've just changed our branding. And so that's what we're here today is to talk to you about New Mexico Fresh Local Month. And I'm going to pass it back over to Mark, who's going to take us through our plans for the whole month.
It's really no coincidence if you think about it that National Farmers Market Week and what was it, Global or International Farmers Market Week is happening in August because it's really fresh local food prime time, if you will. It's the height of the growing season, here in New Mexico and elsewhere, and so every year, as Andrea was saying, we jump on that opportunity um, to connect our producers and our markets with the shoppers. At local food outlets around the state, and just in essence have a celebration of the food, fun, and flavors that are happening this time of year. And yes, it's a celebration, but really our goal is to increase awareness about not just New Mexico Fresh Local Month, but really about the markets and the bounty of goodness that's available there. Drive traffic to your markets and ultimately increase the sales at the local food outlet. So, we try to make it as fun and celebratory and feel good as possible. But the bottom line is the bottom line. We want to boost your sales over the month of August, and we've got some ideas about how to do that. So if we can go ahead and jump to the next page. The idea we came up with really centers around the question of what makes our markets what they are. And the team at the end of last year started brainstorming a little bit, and we said, okay, what makes farmers markets a farmers market? And it's not just the place. It's about the community that's made up of all the great things that New Mexico has to offer. So it's the farmers that are growing all this bounty of goodness. It's the vendors who bring the personality to the markets. It's the entertainment musicians that are there creating atmosphere. It's the managers that are bringing everything together. And maybe most importantly, it's the customers who are there kind of supporting the whole thing. And they're all bringing their own experiences and talents and voices and their hearts to the tables every week. So in essence, the idea is, let's put the spotlight on those real people that bring our markets to life. And who are those people? Really, it's you and your shoppers and the people at markets. And we want to feature these voices to highlight what makes each community unique. And ultimately, we want to invite everyone to join us in celebrating the food, fun, and freshness, and to be New Mexico Fresh Local. So the play here is, New Mexico Fresh Local has been our kind of shopper-facing brand as an organization for several years now. But just a little bit of background. It was actually Andrea who, back when we were talking about this, she said, "You know what I love about New Mexico Fresh Local? It's not just about the food. It's like people can be New Mexico, it can be a New Mexico Fresh Local too." And that got all of our wheels turning. And so we kind of built that whole campaign off of that idea. And so in order to bring it to life, we're like, okay, what does that look like? How do we tie this idea of being New Mexico Fresh Local back to our existing brand? And so we actually created a series of logos, if you will, little kind of visual lockups. And Scott, if you wouldn't mind jumping ahead to the next slide, that can be used to bring that to life. So when we're talking about New Mexico Fresh Local Month, the vast majority of this comes to life via social media, almost exclusively digital media, but primarily social media, Instagram, Facebook, and what have you. So we designed this series of logos to be used in conjunction with the whatever individuals or stories are coming from each of the markets via social media. So in this case, it's from the perspective of an individual, whether it's a grower or a shopper or a manager. The logo lockup in the lower right-hand corner will be in the first person, and it just kind of boldly proclaims, "I am New Mexico Fresh Local. I am New Mexico Fresh Local." It's a declaration about being a member of that community, and the photography, of course, is a key part of it. And there's no more fertile ground than farmers markets for getting great photographs of people and the produce, and it's the cornerstone of what brings this to life. So by simply bolting on that "I am New Mexico Fresh Local" lockup down at the bottom, we start to build this idea of the campaign. Further, if we jump to the next page, when the perspective comes from a group, and that could be a family, it could be a farm, it could be your whole market, the logo would be "We are New Mexico Fresh Local." And again, that's reflecting being a part of that larger community. And then if we jump ahead to the next page, ultimately, we want to invite other people to be a part of this community. So it becomes a call to action: be New Mexico Fresh Local. And so I think you get the gist of it. It's, it is just the photography and the people and the imagery and the energy that brings that to life, and kind of tying it all together with this idea that it's the people that are New Mexico Fresh Local. So couple of ways that can come to life. We talked about social media being the main driver of this campaign. So we've got two different approaches. We intend to use them both. The first one is a bit of an evolution from what we were doing last year. And Scott, if you wouldn't mind jumping ahead to the next slide. And this one would feature quotations from the people we were talking about, from you, from your customers, from your vendors, from whoever, but kind of featuring those in big, bold colors and graphics and photography to bring it to life. These quotes were from stories we gathered last year, but we were wondering, well, where do the stories come from this year? Well, to get things started, we want to hear your stories. What are those inspirations, the passions, the rewards that make you guys care about the local food system, about your markets, about your people? So we're going to be providing each of you with a series of questions that are just designed to help spark some ideas and responses that we can then glean some of these little gems of quotes from. And I won't go too much into the detail now. We'll expound on that. We'll expand on that a little bit later. But anyway, that's the gist of this campaign. So, keep that in mind, because I'm going to come back to you. It's going to be your voices that kind of launch this campaign. So we're going to count on you for that. So that was one way of doing it. So the other thing, in addition to the kind of thought out, polished, and refined ways, we asked ourselves, is there a way to facilitate posts that are just more organic, if you will? And Scott, if you wouldn't mind jumping to the next page. So we came up with this idea of well, I would frame it as it's going to be a kit. So we're going to send you this kit. It's going to be let's call it the iHeart Local Because kit. And you can see in this image, which I just mocked up, we're going to be sending each of the markets a dry erase board, which is pre-labeled with the branding that you see on it, a marker and a little eraser, to gather content directly from the people in your market in a way that's more spontaneous and in the moment type of thing. It doesn't have to be polished. It's not going to be perfect. It is that kind of spontaneous energy that makes it great. So what we love about this facet of the campaign is that it doesn't require a lot of design and templates and things like that. We created some Canva templates last year for market managers. A couple of people used them, but we found it was maybe a little more of a heavy lift than they wanted to do. The beauty of this is if you or somebody in your market can go around and just intercept people and ask them to take 45 seconds to just write down what they love about their market, and then have them hold it up and take a picture of them. It's ready to go. It's ready to post. It's pre-branded. It has the statement. It's just, basically turnkey, pull the trigger, and it's ready to post. So again, we are asking that, you get involved and involve your community. The benefit of this as well is it is directly tied to your own market. And so, you can share it out via your own social media. We can share it out. And then I would encourage everyone in our community to kind of reshare each other's posts as well and kind of amplify that voice. But again, this is a real spontaneous, immediate, in the moment, easy way to capture those voices that we were talking about in the initial idea. And then just a few other tools, and some of these are still in the works. But since we are talking about social media, one of the things that we want to provide, and Scott pulled these together quickly for us yesterday, and I think they're terrific, is photo frames for your social media page. And so just, you can take the picture of your choice. It just, up at the masthead on your social media page, it just proclaims that August is New Mexico Fresh Local Month. And, it's you putting your flag in the ground saying, we're New Mexico Fresh Local, or I am New Mexico Fresh Local. And so, again, real easy to use templates that can then be posted onto your page. And then Scott actually has been working on a series of email campaign ideas throughout the month, a drip campaign, if you will, which simply means that we'll be periodically dropping emails to our members, but maybe more importantly to our shoppers, and just trying to keep New Mexico Fresh Local Month, and by extension your markets, top of mind with those people that we depend on to come to our markets and buy our goods. And then Scott, what were you telling me? We've got a good subscription list.
Yeah, so we're going to be emailing you, market managers throughout the state, but also all of the consumers throughout New Mexico. And I got curious this morning, kind of looked at the numbers of our lists, and we're talking about over 2,000 customers throughout the state of New Mexico. Various messaging all month long, but then the main repeatable call to action is always going to be find a market. go to our Find a Market Locator tool, and that way they're finding all of you, no matter which part of the state they live in. So we're looking forward to kind of grow those numbers a little bit during the month of August, but certainly leveraging those people that are already primed and ready to hear from farmers markets across the state.
Thanks, Scott. So those are a few of the tools. One thing I wanted to share with you guys, if we can go ahead and jump to the next slide. I mentioned that you know, we really want to have your stories and what motivates you and what you have passion about with the local food system. And local food system sounds a little impersonal. Really, your markets and your people and your community and et cetera. But as we were looking at some of the great quotes that we got last year, a lot of it really came down to like what drives people to be a part of this community. And most people in it seem to have a good story to tell. It's not just a job. It's not like what do you want to do? Like there's a college course in how to be a part of the fresh local community. There's something that got people to want to be a grower or be involved as a market manager or as a vendor. And those stories are just rich with stuff. And inevitably, when people start thinking about it, their passion and their heart tends to come out. So we're like, okay, how can we kind of facilitate some of those questions? And so what we want to do is send these questions out to you guys. And we don't expect you to answer 10 questions. If you could just pick one that speaks to you. If you pick one thing about, one of the questions is, what advice might you have for someone who's just starting their career? Or how did you get into the business yourself? How does the local community factor into what you do? Who do you rely on in the community? Who relies on you? And what does that mean, et cetera? So Scott is going to be creating a questionnaire. And again, we don't want you to, it's not an essay. You don't need to spend a lot of time on it. But probably if you look at these questions, a little story springs to mind, or, there's a certain person who maybe mentored you or inspired you or something like that. If you could share those. And then Scott, if you wouldn't mind jumping back to, just as a reminder, to slide 8. What we'd like to do is take some of those stories and distill them down into these and Scott, if you wouldn't mind going to slide 8.
I don't have slide numbers, Mark. You got to help me out.
Oh, okay. The one with the they're in the lower right-hand corner. The ones with with these particular quotes. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Sorry to put you on the spot like that. But from the larger narrative that you guys give us, what we'd love to do is take a sentence or a paragraph and maybe even just edit it for the sake of fit, because brevity is stronger in social media, and maybe pull a key quote from that and perhaps tell a little bit more of the story on the side. The bottom line is, though, guys, again, this campaign is about you and your markets and your people. So we really would love it, and we would so much appreciate it if you could engage in this. We know it's something to one more thing for you guys to do, but again, if you could take 15 minutes and just answer one of those questions, it's going to help us to really kickstart this campaign in a meaningful way and introduce it. And we want to even get some things out, maybe a few days before August, to get people's juices flowing. So yeah, we'd love it if you would get involved with that. We're kind of counting on that, actually. So what else? Scott, if you wouldn't mind going to the last slide. So in conclusion, August in New Mexico Fresh Local Month, that's just about just under 2 weeks away, I think. Yeah, 13 days or something. So we've got this campaign ready for you. We're going to be providing a bunch of tools, including that graphic quotes campaign. We're going to be sending you the iHeart Local Because dry erase board kits, which are going to make it easier for you guys to post your own content by photographing people's responses. We're going to have a variety of digital assets that you guys can download and use on your own sites and post, etc. And we're going to be sending out a recap email with basically everything we talked. I know this is a lot, and links to those resources. In the meantime, I guess I would say please keep in mind that this campaign is really all about you and your markets, and your voice and your participation are going to be key in helping making this year's New Mexico Fresh Local Month hopefully the biggest yet. We know last year we got a huge lift in markets and in social media traffic, and we anticipate this year being even bigger and better. But again, we're counting on you guys. So I know that's a lot. With that, I would open it up for questions and or feedback.
Thanks, Mark. I'll just throw out a couple other pieces here. We also wanted to, oh, there was a question in the chat from David, and he was asking when those whiteboards are going out, and I'm in the process of putting those mailing, the whiteboards and the mailing together right now. So I hope to get those out by the end of next week. So uh, they'll be in your hands by hope before August 1st. We have quite a bit of these stickers that you see behind me, New Mexico Fresh Local, that we make available to everyone at the conferences. If you need another stack of these stickers, you know you need another big stack, go ahead and write that in the chat or email me. We'll also have places where you can, in the information we're sending out, places where you can request more stickers if you need them throughout the month, and we can send them to you. And I
And
just want to.
Andrea, I just build on that, and thank you for reminding me of that. That's actually just a nice little premium if you're going around with those boards. I forgot to mention that, but just a little premium to give people, for participating, taking 30 seconds and writing something down, giving them that sticker that's New Mexico Fresh Local. I think they'll appreciate it, and hopefully they put it on their water bottle or their bumper or something, and they become, kind of a champion of local markets by doing so. So that's
Yeah.
terrific.
And I see Danielle's asking about the I Heart Farmers Market tattoos. Those are, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't read I thought she was asking where to find them. Let me read the. Oh, they're on the Farmers Market Coalition website. They're in you can find those I Heart Farmers Market tattoos in if you download the toolkit, I believe they're in there. And I'll look for that link again, and we'll put that into our resources as well. We'll highlight that for everyone if they want to order those. It's they're tattoos that I guess you don't have to put it on your arm, but the Farmers Market Coalition makes a I Heart Farmers Market tattoo that you can order from them and give out to customers as well. The other To spruce up your market for the whole month, if you still have access to the banners that we sent out last year, if you don't have those up, this is a nice time to put those up and decorate at market as well. That's also kind of a nice backdrop for those whiteboards, setting up a spot at your market where customers or vendors can come and write and utilize the whiteboard, or having a volunteer who wants to walk around with it and have people take and have people fill in the reason why they love local on the board, and also get different backgrounds of produce stands at your market, or other stands at your market might be a nice way to get those whiteboards out into the world, or before or after market as vendors are closing down is always a good time too to try and stop them because they're usually busy throughout the whole market to get them. It would be great if you could get vendors using those whiteboards as well. We'd really love to see them represented in this campaign as well as the customers. Right. As I see you writing here, a selfie station. Yep. You could also have a local or a New Mexico Fresh local selfie station for folks to be posting their own posts on. And speaking of that, we're gonna make all of the lockups. Now I've learned so many marketing words from work. Those logos that we showed you that say I am, we are, be, we'll make those all available on Canva and we'll highlight those links for you in the emails that we're going to send out as well. And I think that's all I had to add. I do want to hear from
And I
others.
see Alaska's got her hand up.
Great.
I don't have a question, but just more of a comment. I just wanted to thank all of you at NMFMA for preparing all these materials. I know it is a ton of work, not only to come up with the campaign, but to create all of the assets. And I just think it's really awesome that you guys are doing this and spending so much time and hosting these forums. And it makes a big impact for larger markets like ours in Albuquerque, but also I'm sure it is a huge impact to small markets that don't quite have the capacity. So just wanted to thank you all for putting in the work to do all this. I know it's a huge undertaking for any large scale campaign like this.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Alaska. Yeah, it's our pleasure. This is one of our big pushes for the year, and you know, it's exciting for us, and really we do it with getting people to the markets in August, and like I say, the larger markets I think tend to be more involved in their marketing and have departments and specialized people, but the whole idea with those boards is like to make it easy for people to go out and get content and post it themselves. So that might be the difference between a big market and a small market. If the small markets did a little more marketing, maybe they become bigger markets as well. So no, appreciate that, Alaska. Thank you.
We're also for those smaller markets who don't always have a social media manager or aren't able to post regularly on social media. We've created a link. We have it on our website now, and it's going to live there forever. But it's going to be a place where you can send pictures or these whiteboard photos that if you're not able to post them on Farmers Market, we'd still love to see them. We'd love to be able to use them and have them for years to come. And so we've created a link that where you're going to be able to upload anything you want to send us to show us what's going on at your market, videos or
Literally
pictures.
anything. So
Any-
like we kind of envision like share your photos, share some video clips that you shot on your smartphone and upload as just a way to share with us. And then we can include that in future blog posts or newsletters going out to the state, whether that be to other market managers to inspire them or to show consumers travel around the state and hit up all these various markets with diverse people and different vibes. But if you wanted to like write a press release and upload it there too, I almost feel like in the future we should change the name of this little upload tool to like the toot your own horn feature. Like if you've got something that you want to brag about and say, hey, we're such and such market and we did something awesome, it's just an easy way to show us what you've been up to. And Jenna, our social media manager, she's not here with us today, but she keeps a watchful eye and follows all of you across Instagram and Facebook, and she does a great job echoing what you're already posting and resharing that. So this is just kind of another way if you're less social media inclined to kind of keep us informed of what's going on at your markets.
And I know that, Scott, you shared a link there in chat. I also want to remind managers, I love to show you this. I know every time we're in a forum, but on our member facing page, New Mexico FMA, we have right here under resources, farmers market and manager resources. And that's going to take you to slowly. Oh, there, I'm already there. Our market manager resource page, and that link lives here right now. Submit your photos and videos. So I also want to, while we're here, so this is where you're going to be able to link to a form slowly. It's going to load for us here, where you're going to be able to upload. Pretty simple. But I want to just go back to this page real quick and point out also our market manager resource calendar while I have it up. And we even have the conference dates on this calendar now. So please, if you're ever like, when is that supposed to happen? Check back to this page. It's got everything you're looking for. And I think I just wanted I know sometimes it's hard to remember where everything lives. That's where it lives. Also, I just wanted to ask, does anybody here want to share with us any plans they have or anything they were thinking of that maybe we didn't mention that they're gonna do this year in August? I know that Ardovinos has a shop and taste coming up. I think we have one more shop and taste. I know we have one more we have two shop and tastes happening at markets in August for Local Food Connects months, but does anybody have anything else that they're going to do that they'd like to share? I see your hand, David. Go ahead. Oops, you're on mute still, Fred. Oh, we still can't hear you. Oh no. We're having sound issues.
Is that better?
There you are. Yay. There you are.
There we go. Okay. So, no, we do. We have our Shop and Taste cooking demonstration coming up on August 9th. And then we will be getting a course. I have connects with local TV stations, so we're going to be doing some local on-air stuff again for the market. But this year, we're also for the Shop and Taste. But this year, we're also doing it in conjunction with our social media, so it'll help us get that reach out further to advertise the Shop and Taste cooking demonstration, which we have coming up, and I'm really excited about that. So if you're in the local southern New Mexico area, hopefully you will be able to see it, and then decide to come on out that day and, partake in some good food.
Awesome.
That's exciting. I heard that, is it going to be Chef Tom again this year? Or is it going to,
It's Chef Patrick Rosser.
Patrick,
is
that's
who
right.
we have
Chef
from,
Patrick.
yeah.
That's right.
Chef Patrick Rosser from El Paso Community College. And he's been doing cooking demonstrations here at our market for over 10 years now. So it's fantastic to get him back again.
That's wonderful. I'm so excited. I was just talking to my husband last night about trying to make it out to that one.
Yay!
And that shop and taste opportunity is still available for markets if you haven't had one in 2025. And there's still time to do one for the end of August if you're up for it as a market. Alaska, were you going to share with us some?
Oh, I just got so excited about hearing other people's ideas that I lowered my hand. But at the Albuquerque Rail Yards Market, we have different themes every week for the farmers market already. So in August, we planned out the themes to all be mostly food focused. So we have Farm Day starting at the beginning. And then a couple other fun themes that we have at our market that month are a Watermelon Day, where we try to elevate all of the watermelon vendors, and we have fun kids crafts that are kind of watermelon themed. We're talking about maybe a watermelon eating contest or something fun like that. And at the end of the month, we have Red or Green Day, where we have some Ristra farmers come and do a Ristra making demo. And that one is super popular with families of all ages. They come and there's just all these Ristras being strung up and being made. So yeah, we're excited for the whole fresh and local month.
That's wonderful. Thanks, Alaska. In Silver City, they used to have an annual watermelon seed spitting contest. And so COVID kind of took us away from spitting seeds out, but that's a fun one too. You measure the distance.
I had a quick question to throw it back to you, Alaska. You guys sounds like you do a great job, and you've got a team with you at Albuquerque Rail Yards. What are some tips for kind of planning out or mapping out like theme weeks, or maybe for a smaller market, like themed months? Would you have some tips for some of the smaller markets to kind of make easy work of that level of planning and execution? Because there's a lot that goes into that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a really fun way to, we all have amazing things happening at markets every week, but it's kind of an amazing and fun way to break the monotony and make each week or each month a little special. My recommendation is just to start as early as possible. We actually map out all our themes in the winter of the previous year, and just try to line them up with already existing holidays and already existing efforts. Like, NMFMA has all of your amazing marketing and promo campaign for Local Food Connect month. So we just decided to make every week in August food themed. Just lining them up with like other partners' efforts just can really decrease your work and increase all of the fun for your visitors and vendors.
I think it'd be fun just to kind of model like what so many baseball teams do and say like tonight is such and such night, and it doesn't even have to be a big heavy lift. You're just giving it a name and like maybe a curated playlist or something while people can hear that while they shop is enough to kind of set the vibe, right?
Exactly. For example, we have an animals day and we do a pet costume contest, and we play Who Let the Dogs Out all day long. Yeah, just having a fun themed playlist can be a low lift. Yeah, having a theme. I sometimes call them freebie themes to something that you already have happening at the market, like local food or watermelons or health and wellness, something that you already have going on, and then you just want to promote it in a different way. But we also have random themes. We have an intergalactic day. It just kind of depends on your community and your partners and whoever is already invested or interested in being involved at your market. I noticed there are several folks from NMDA here today. We partnered with NMDA a little while ago for our Ranchero Day, so we promoted all like local beef and local proteins, and we had the New Mexico Beef Council out and NMDA's Taste the Tradition program out to play games. So there's a lot of community partners that can bring in value and fun to your market so that you don't have to do the lift yourself. And all those amazing partners are already doing the work. So it's so much fun to collaborate with them.
That's wonderful, Alaska. It's so inspiring to see what's happening at your market. That's wonderful. I also wanted to give a shout out to David, saying that his market's starting on the 4th of the month. That's exciting. Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm so sorry. It was Fidel. Excuse me. I'm inept at the chat. Sorry, everyone. Fidel. And Fidel, you're from Tesoros, is that correct? Do I have that right? And your market's starting, Tesoros del Valle is starting on Monday. It's so exciting. We can't wait to hear about how that market is going. Oh no, that's great. Wait, maybe I'm confused. Fidel, are you able to come off chat and correct me? Kirtland Market. You're with Kirtland. That's right. That's exciting. Do you have any questions for us as you're starting out market for the season? No questions. Well, thanks for joining us today, Fidel. Go ahead and reach out if you have any questions after you open market that we can help you with.
Oh, one thing I wanted to add, and I'm going to try to live up to this too, because Andrea, you said you're going to send me one of these whiteboard kits too. We should all maybe prime the engines of this campaign and lead by example. So get the process rolling by you and your staff and your volunteers maybe going first and kind of showing people get out on the dance floor, right? If the farmers market's a party, for those of you following along in the chat. And yeah, we'll hopefully be posting some of those on our pages as well. Maybe we can get a lot of NMFMA staff to not be camera shy and tell them why we are New Mexico Fresh Local ourselves. Whoa, flamenco dancers, Mark. That's very festive. Flamenco or salsa?
As long as somebody's dancing.
Yes, Alaska, we will post this. We can post the slides, and we'll always send a recording of the video presentation today. That'll probably be in your inbox Monday or Tuesday next week. And then along with all these other resources, we're probably going to bombard you all with links and emails. So we want that to be easily digestible. You'll probably see an email from us maybe every Monday throughout the month of August, just with reminders on where to find all of these resources we're throwing your way. In keeping with the music theme, maybe next year we need a New Mexico Fresh Local Spotify playlist.
That's a great idea.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, something that everybody can add to. Well, I just want to open it up. We have about 10 more minutes here, and we've presented all of the information we have for you today. I'd love to open it up to questions broader than New Mexico Fresh Local Month. If anybody has anything, a burning question, something happening at market that they would like to ask all of we have we have a really good selection of season managers here in our forum, which is not what we usually see in forums. So thank you all for making time and coming out. And we have some new managers as well. We also have, we have Sabrina Priest here with us today from the NMDA, and she works with the Taste the Tradition and Grown with Tradition program. She and I just had a great meeting last week, and she's going to be coming in September to this forum to talk about all of the wonderful NMDA programs that are happening to partner with farmers markets and food vendors, local food vendors. Next month's forum is going to be everything market data. So if you have questions or want to have a sneak peek into what market data is going to look like for this year, we've made a couple tweaks, but it's not going to change too much. And if you don't know what market data is and you're like, what's she talking about? Next month's forum, we're going to have Brian, our data guy, here with us, and we're going to be going over how to collect market data and when it's due and how to make it easier for you. We're constantly looking at ways of making that data collection easier for markets. So come next month and in September to learn about the NMDA programming. Sabrina, did you want to share anything with us today while you're here?
Hi, everyone. I've enjoyed just listening. I always love hearing how other organizations work and seeing different people come together to share ideas and to share ways to just benefit local food here in New Mexico. And so I know you and Andrea and I have been discussing some different ways to collaborate with the New Mexico Grown with Tradition, Taste the Tradition program moving forward in the coming year. So I'm really excited for that. I know I'll be some of you I know I've met before. Some of you are members of our program. And I'm excited to get to know the rest of you and just be able to share in September about the NMDA logo program. It's a free program that offers some great benefits to markets, growers, food processors. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for joining us today, Sabrina. It's nice to see it's always nice to see faces and smiles of all of our partners. Well, it looks like everybody has asked the questions and gotten the information they're looking for. So if you'd like to ask a question and you don't want to ask in front of the group and you want to stay on, you're welcome to. Other than that, I just want to say thank you to Mark for his wonderful presentation and for all the work he's put into helping make New Mexico Fresh Local Month for 2025. And I always want to encourage everyone to just reach out at any point with any questions you have. We're here to help you with tech. We're here to help you with logos. To help you with funding for promotions. And we're here to just listen if something's happening at market that you just need an ear to talk to someone about. Go out and reach out to me, and I can help you. I think most of you know I was the Silver City Farmers Market manager for years, and I've been listening now for about 3 years to managers talk about all of the issues that come up at market. And sometimes it's not easy. So thank you for all of the work you do.